Hello guys, welcome to the 7th tutorial, and this is most important part of this quiz because we are working on the actual quiz fragment where the magic happens, and you need to focus because here are so many logics in this, and we will go through each of the logics and hopefully we'll get to somewhere. So first of all, we would be taking some objects, nav controller, and position and string id, quiz id, current user id, long, total, number of questions, let's try to initialize more variables, and list. So here we need to create a model before we can work on this, because now we have to create another list, another document and collection of the actual question in each quiz. So for that, to fetch that, we have to have a model which takes in string quiz id and question id. And we need some other variables here. So one is it document id is going to be annotate this Firestore automatically generates for us question id. So there will be question answer option a, option b, option c, and what we need here is the timer, because and we will create an empty constructor required by Firebase, and let's just create a constructor that we will use and getter and setter methods. So we have to go to our Firestore to make these fields, but for now let's just focus on quiz fragment for now, because we need a lot of stuff here. List question model, all question list. We are taking two array list. This contains all question and this will contain questions to answer. So this is going to store the number of questions that we have answered, because let's say there are 15 questions, we only want to show 10 questions. So this gives us more functionality. These are two lists, and if we go to our, in here we have some buttons, so we'll get some buttons for options, option a, option b, option c, and we have a next button that takes us to the result page or the next question, and we have text view, which is uh, question text, quiz title text, and question time progress text, and we have question feedback, answer feedback text, answer feedback text, and we have lastly an image button that back that cancels the quiz. I don't think so I'll use this, but I'll just take it anyway. So there is a lot that we have to initialize in here, and so we have taken so many objects, and we need progress bar. Obviously progress bar is needed, and Firebase Auth, Firestore, Firebase Firestore, Firebase Firestore, and we are creating some integers. Current answer 0, current answer 0. So we will be storing the result in these. So yeah, wrong answer, let's just type in camel case, missed answer, and in current question. So this takes in the whatever the number of the question is, and we also need a boolean that helps us to create if and else statements. So without a further ado, you can try to forward the video because it is going to take a bit of a time to initialize all the views. Question text, set text, oh sorry, view, find view by ID, quiz, question. Yeah, I have to re-verify the IDs of these. Quiz title, because it's a big project, so it is good to go back and check quiz title, quiz, question, time progress text, quiz, progress bar, quiz, timer text. What else do we need here? The text view, answer feedback text, quiz answer feedback. Also we will initialize the buttons now. Find view by ID, option A. So let's just take care of the buttons. And we need a next button to initialize this also. Quiz next. What else is the back button? This is the UI of the and I think our views are already initialized. Nav controller, navigation view, Firebase auth get instance, Firebase Firestore get instance, and in here also we will be receiving the values, the quiz ID, because it was sent to us. So we'll be quiz fragment arg get from bundle, get arguments, get quiz ID, current user ID, because every time user logs in, Firebase assigns it current user ID can be taken from okay, we'll be taking it somewhere along the way. Let's not worry about it for now. Total number of questions, and quiz name, quiz name is going to be quiz fragment arg from bundle, get arguments, get quiz name. So updating the variables, and also we need a countdown timer object here, and what we'll do here is Firestore. Well, first of all we'll check to get the questions. We have to add the questions, but I will just set up the framework first. Collection, quiz list, document, quiz ID. This has to be done above, so this gets, and collection question dot get add on complete listener. Okay, so this is it for here, and what maybe I can do is continue this, or let's just keep on going and make it a 30-minute tutorial also. So what we'll be doing here is I will just go to my Firestore, and here, so this quiz ID has the quiz information, and now this quiz ID has a different quiz, and this quiz ID has a different quiz. So for the quiz in general knowledge, I would create a new collection and name it as questions, and auto ID, this is the questions ID, and create question who is US President elect. Answer is Biden. Field, option A, Trump, option B, Biden, option C, Pelosi. And the time for this question is going to be 10 seconds. So that's a number, and we can press 10. And similarly, we have to add as many as questions we want. So I'll go back to our model and verify if that's what we needed. The model, option A, yeah. Question, answer, option A. Yeah, so making sure the spellings are right, otherwise data will not be fetched. Okay, so in that quiz ID we have created, for a specific quiz ID we have specific set of questions, and yeah, so we will be adding more questions. So each question ID has each question tied to it. This is a new question ID. So again, question, where is Mount Everest? Answer, Nepal. Option A, India. Option B, Pakistan. And option C is going to be the correct one, Nepal. So make sure your option text matches here to this field, because this is very important that this text is going to be shown in the button, and we are going to apply some logic that checks if this text is equals to the text in the answer field. If the text is different here, your quiz will not run. Timer, 10 seconds again. Add another question. Where is K2 mountain? Answer, Pakistan. Option A, China. Option B, India. Option C, Pakistan. And the timer, I think last question I didn't put the timer to number. We can see that later. So this is number. The type is very important, guys, because this is like you have to be really careful. Yeah, here in this one I didn't. Yeah, so this is a number, not the string. It will crash the whole project. You know what we are trying to achieve here. Number. I will add 2 more questions because this is very frustrating to be writing everything. Okay, question. What is free solo? What is free soloing? Similar to rock climbing. Option A. Let's just copy paste this whole thing. Option B, jumping from the plane. And option C, hiking. And timer is 10. And last question, you can please forward the video, because this is like Yeah, the last question is choose which one is a continent. Okay, is continent. Okay, answer Antarctica. Option A. Option B. Japan. Option C. Thailand. Option no option. This is timer. 10. Okay, perfect. So our questions are done. So since in this quiz I had only chosen 5 questions, so I'm adding 5, and let's just close it. So actually I would go back to it to explain you a little bit what the line that I have written here, the quiz fragment, the quiz list. Okay, let's just put it on side by side preview, so hopefully I can squeeze in. Okay, so starts with quiz list, quiz list, quiz id, quiz id. Quiz id has the collection of questions, and according to the question id we will be shown the questions. So let's just maximize our Android Studio again, and here what we will be doing is, if task is successful, then we can add all this into all the questions that are present in our collection in Firebase Firestore, add it into task.getResult.toObjects question model.class. Perfect. Now here we will be creating two methods: picked questions, the questions that we have chosen, and load UI. So let's just create these methods first. And this is very important that you move this for yeah, this picked question comes first, because this is a really tough one. So in picked questions we will be creating a loop for int I is equals to 0, I is less than total number of question I plus plus. Okay, so here int random number, and we will be creating a method because we want the questions to do not follow the same pattern. Question can appear to the user randomly, so we would be creating a method that takes in minimum and maximum. So question to answer in that list we will be adding this all question list get random number, and to remove the duplicates we can just pass in this, and let's create a method for public int, let's do private int get random int minimum int maximum, and here what we will be doing is return int math dot random multiplies maximum minus minimum plus minimum. So this is done, and we will be going back to this. Just takes care of our stuff that we needed for the questions and their numbers. So we'll be going back to our folder in our methods in here, and applying option set on click listener this, because we want this to work also. And we can say if the result is not successful, if there are no questions that are being fetched, then it should show an error. And next button. Okay, so we'll just be adding an on click on this. Oh no. So let's just implement the method. We'll come back to this later. Okay, loading UI. In this one, first of all, quiz name. So quiz title text is going to be quiz name, because we have fetched this from our previous fragment. And question tag is going to be loading question. So let's see if this is working so far. And our app is up. So the quiz that we have clicked on is setting the title of the quiz and all that. So yeah, we will be continually working on our this tutorial of the quiz app in the next tutorial. So I'll see you in the next one.